Okay. So, oh, and just a little bit of background for you. So I did the first 50. I tried to go more or less all out.
Okay.
Because I wanted to get, see if my stroke is falling apart when I'm going all out.
Okay, then we'll watch that at full speed.
Okay. And then the next one I did, I don't know, at 75%.
Okay.
And then I did a 50 fly.
So we'll kind of watch this go through. You see just a little bit of an elbow drop on the right side there.
Yeah.
So try to keep the integrity of their hands underneath your elbows all the way through the stroke cycle.
God, it sure doesn't look like I'm going full speed.
Then we'll break it down after this. But yeah, you can see how the elbow drops.
Yeah.
Okay, let's back it up. Okay, I'll slow you down a little bit now. So pretty good stretch through the stroke here.
Okay.
But right there you can see elbows are bending here. And now we're getting to that point where the fingertips and forearm are on the same plane.
Yeah.
But we're fairly far into the stroke cycle,
Yeah,
so we really want to have that happen earlier in the stroke cycle if possible. Now you can see.
Am I bending my leg too much when I'm kicking?
Kind of right here a little bit, you kind of see that. And so what that tells us, you're kind of bending your knee in both directions. Ideally, you're going to be bent on the way down, straight on the way up a little bit, and it's just a little bit too much there. This is pretty good extension through here.
Okay.
I like that. Right here, yeah, we can just this integrity of the elbow below the fingertip. So and when we start the stroke in this position here, it's highly unlikely that we're going to have that early vertical forearm at the catch point.
Is it because my hand is going up there? Is
Exactly.
that what's happening?
As you extend forward, the fingertips are riding up instead of going in that downhill slide.
Yeah. Why? Am I doing that because is it a function of breathing, or
I think it's just a function of trying to get too much stretch out of the stroke.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So allow yourself to shorten your distance per stroke a little bit if it keeps your fingertips underneath the elbow, because what will happen is your distance per stroke may not be as long, but you're going to get into that early vertical forearm, that ideal catch point, that sweet spot that we want earlier in the stroke cycle. So the end result of that is you're going to hold more water.
Okay, yeah.
Because right now...
So look at my head.
Right. Look where you're looking. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's very good to see that, because I didn't...
See in there, yeah. And now it's just... And there it goes. And I think you've got a couple more lines before you're to the turn here, based on what I see the pool doing here. So it's not like you're lifting to roll into your turn.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's...
When we get the view coming back, the head-on view, we're going to see a lot over here. We're going to see a lot more than just the bubbles of your feet.
Okay.
But there's the head again, yeah. Everything's coming off the spinal integrity. So the action and reaction is...
And I think I think I'm going into a breath when I'm lifting my head.
You're lifting to breathe, right?
Yeah.
So you're fine there.
Yeah.
And then it's time to take a breath. And there it is.
God.
And you can see what it does to your spine.
Yeah. Look at that.
And then the result of that is, where's that leg?
Yeah.
Where'd that leg go?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's all tied to, and again, it goes back to what we were talking about Friday night. The foundational pieces of balance and posture have to stay, the integrity of that has to stay good. Otherwise, these kind of things start happening.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you're holding water pretty good back through the back here.
Okay.
Again, we'll see more when you're on the head-on view. We'll be able to see that a little bit better. It looks pretty even on both sides as far as where the hands seem to be exiting.
Yeah, so there my head went up and I'm going into the turn.
Right.
Now, ideally, I should be on my back at this point, shouldn't I?
You should be on your back, and what's happening, all the twisting is, look how far you've turned your head. So this is a result of the body following the head.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
You want to try to follow your feet to the wall. So you see your feet plant here, you're going to keep your head on your spine line a little bit better.
Yeah.
See, that's a lot of turning. So you're almost on your stomach before you leave the wall.
Yeah. I know that's not what I'm supposed to do. It's partly a function of, swimming with a lot of other people and always having to worry about
who's coming in behind you.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay, now here's a problem too. Is watch this here. So your head's breaking the surface here, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And you barely started your first stroke. So what you've done is you've streamlined kick to the surface, and we want to use that first stroke and a half to actually swim ourselves up. Okay.
Oh.
You should have broken into this first stroke. See, we should be swimming to the surface at this point to carry that speed. Again, you're never going faster than when you push off the wall. So our goal is to carry that speed as far down the 25 as we can, because the more speed I carry down there, the less I'm going to turn down at the other end. And so what's happening here is you've got a good streamline kick off the wall, but if we could tell, you're probably decelerating at this point.
Really? Okay.
So we want to use that first stroke. At this point here is when our head should be breaking the surface.
Okay. There's that breath. Gosh, that's just... So I really just want to be focusing on just it. It's a.
Yeah.
I don't know why I look up on my breathing.
And who was it? Debbie caught me doing the same thing in workout like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, is that right?
I had no clue I was doing it either.
Really? Yeah.
I want to see some more head on now. Okay. See, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, that's...
Remember how close, like, even on both of them, Roland Schumann and Carolyn Matt, both their elbows were really high near the surface. And here you can see what we talk about after the breath, fingertips being above the elbow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a while. And now we're in this is ideal. This is good, but look how far back into the pool we are already.
Yeah.
And it's all a result of the fingertips riding up above the elbow. And when that happens, it takes this far into the stroke cycle to get back that integrity of the fingertips below the elbow and having that good 90-degree bend.
Yeah.
To have some leverage over the water. Looks like you're holding a lot of water back through here. That's good. That's what we want to see.
Okay.
You're not releasing too soon. Same thing on there a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing we're going to focus on is just the head position.
Yeah.
Do some kick and balance drills. Do some swimming if you can with a snorkel on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just don't move your head at all. Right?
Yep.
So you can get a sense of a feel of these things that you want to happen in your stroke, the high elbow catch, the early vertical forearm, by taking the breathing out of it.
Yeah.
And you can just go along, and you can just work on this first 6 inches of pull. Just do this, and do this, and do this, and then do it on the other side, and then take 6 strokes and put it all together and do the same thing. Go back to working on just one piece at a time type thing.
Okay.
You've got a great kick going, but when you're sprinting, it's a little better. One of the things you can do too, I think would be good, is focus on when you turn your breathing. You'll watch this here. Let me go back there. Let's go back to this here. When you take a breath, go back here. All right, right. Watch this here. Okay, right. So getting ready to set up the breath. Because you're lifting your head, the action and reaction of that is if my head is going up, there's going to be downward pressure somewhere, and it's right on this hand. So this hand goes right down into a pull.
Yeah.
So what we want, because we want to get the sense that we can breathe and reach at the same time. What's happening now is because you're lifting your head, the reaction of that is you're putting downward pressure on your hand right away. You can't breathe and reach. You're pulling right away. You're putting downward pressure on your hand, and that's creating even more up and down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we want to be able to do this. That when we rotate to breathe, I'm going to come around again. We want to do it in such a way that we rotate our body, but we always keep our armpit facing the bottom.
Okay.
Because in this position here, my armpit shouldn't rotate any more than that, and I actually want to be pressing into the water with this point here as I breathe, and that's going to take a lot of that downward pressure off the hand and allow it to float out in front of you a little bit longer.
Okay.
But right now we can't do that because there's so much motion with the head.
Yeah. Yeah. I was tired at this point. This was right after the morning workout.
Yeah. It's pretty good. So ideally what we look for is that when we finish that second kick, we should be finishing the stroke and the kick at the same time. You're pretty close to that. And this line is a good straight line. You haven't broken that plane too much. You're not at too steep of a climb.
Okay.
So that's going to allow the water to kind of roll down off your body this way instead of running into something that's a little too steep for you.
Okay.
The second play, and this is good. I mean, here you are. You can tell that your head and your chest are below your shoulders, which is great. That's where you want to be. Hips are nice and high in the water at this point. Not too bad. I mean, this is pretty good right here.
Okay.
I mean, ideally, if the fingertips could catch up to the elbows in front of the shoulders, that's kind of what we're looking for. But I like, this is a pretty good position here.
Is it? Okay.
Except, you'll see it when we come back the other way.
Well, are my fingertips
That's what I'm saying.
going
the fingertips
up?
are above your wrist.
Yeah.
Wrist is above your elbow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll see that on the view coming back, I think.
Okay.
We just show up with $25 tonight.
That'd be helpful, yeah.
Okay, and then
How many?
do we order or is it
No, you're gonna order your own.
family style?
No, you're gonna order your own.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
See you then.
Alrighty.
Okay. Can you do anybody? Like, I mean, Marcia Hill? I mean, I don't know which one you're supposed to go to, but I mean,
Do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's see. So there was only a Marcia
So see, this is what we want to do. See how you're swimming to the surface? You're using those strokes to swim. That's what you want to do with your freestyle too.
Okay. Okay.
Now we get to see a little bit better view of what's going on in front here. So you dive forward, not bad, but boom.
Yeah, I'm going.
Right. So you've got a little. You're trying to alley oop with your hands, and you really don't need to because you're not diving your head down below your head here. And usually when people do that, that's when they have to sweep their hands back up.
Okay.
So you're in a great position right here. You just need to lift the back of your wrist a little bit to keep your fingertips down.
Okay. Okay.
Because that would have allowed you to get to this point about 7 frames faster.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So your hands, the timing is good. The head's beating the fingertips in the water.
Okay.
The stretch here is really good. And your hands are not too deep, so you can actually catch right at this point right here. You don't need to ride up more, but you do at this point here.
Yeah.
So then by the time you get the fingertips down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 frames there.
Yeah.
So that means we could have gotten into a high elbow catch phrase 8 frames earlier.
Yeah.
But really good job of finishing here. A little deep here. But
Okay.
good job of finishing your stroke all the way through here.
Okay. Okay.
And it's just at the end here that you turn your edges a little bit and blade the hands out, which I think is fine.
Okay.
Right there. That creates that circular
Oh,
motion
yeah.
into the